Hi, this is Zach May with the US Chartbreakers here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Sunday, the 5th of October. Starting off with the S&P, and here you can see that we're actually not far off the mid-channel area. So the floor of the channel there around 6,500, the top of the channel heading for 6,800. So that is a positive at the moment, but can see that recent support for October around 66.60 above that, and we're looking for the top of the channel by the end of this month as near as 6,900. Seems a bit unreal to be going so high, but that is the channel at the moment. And if there is a rug pull, not expecting anything now lower than 65.50, which was twice tested support, or the twice tested support area last month for this market. Moving along to the Nasdaq, and here it's been all about 24,000 and holding above that, which so far we've done. Top of the channel there from April, heading for 25,300, which is what we're looking for. Hopefully by the end of the first half of October, best case by the end of this month, up to that red late January resistance line projection, as high as 26,200. Worst case at the moment is down to the floor of the channel and the 50-day line, 23,800. But ideally, we make higher highs or higher lows, rather, above the 24,000 level. A hint of bearish divergence coming in there, so we are prepared for a test of the floor of that channel, even though we may not need to do that. Moving on to the stocks, and starting off with Alto Neuroscience, and here rising trend channel base, the top of the channel there heading for $8.72. Obviously, we're looking for that in coming days, and hopefully that will be achieved. But above that, then we've got the prospect of a gap fill trade up towards the $14 level, maybe by the end of next month. Ideally, in the meantime, we stay on the right side of $6, which is effectively hoping that we will stay on the right side of that gap floor there from back in October last year. The other interesting point is the way that we've got all these RSI support points near the RSI 50 level, so hopefully that is a sign of ongoing strength and will back the market, at least in its first move, potentially towards the $9 area. Next on the list is Biogen, and here you can see that we've had a little breakout through the old March resistance around the $1.57 area, and looking forward, the top of the channel there as high as $180 by the end of next month, giving this stock a bit of time to get its act together. The other positive at the moment is the way that the 50-day line is rising well, just now waiting for the 200-day line, the black line there at 134, to start to curl up as well. Couldn't resist looking at the next stock, which we've looked at before on the basis that it's blown the lights out in terms of the previous target there through $7.70. Above that, we have the pleasure of being able to upgrade the target up towards $13, which is the upper parallel of that broadening triangle base, and looking for that hopefully by the end of this month. Onto a stock which I couldn't resist either, Charter Communications. The reason for that is that we've got this uptrend line in the RSI window. We've managed to bounce off the 50-day line there around the $266 level, and looking for the shares to hit the top of that channel there at around $310, hopefully by the end of next month. But the novelty here really is the way that we've got support wholly above that 50-day line. So that does suggest that we've actually turned into more of a bullish mode for this market. Onto a stock which I covered quite a few times in the recent past, which is Dragonfly. And here, picture is that of a market which has already taken out the second target, which was up to 168 cents. Above that, looking for a move up to $3, which is the upper parallel of that second parallel line, and looking for that by the end of this month. But the key here is holding the previous target there through 160 cents. Been a bit of a rocky ride for the next stock, which is Epsium, and here you can see why. The shares previously managed to hit targets that we were looking for, in fact, the most optimistic ones, but now they're in a regrouping mood or mode. Here you can see that we've had a bear trap rebound from below the 200-day line there, which is actually still rising. What's interesting here is that we probably need to see an end-of-day close through the 50-day moving average That's at $27, and also the RSI to get back above neutral 50. And if we can get that combo, then maybe the first target will be towards $56 by the end of this month, or maybe going into November. Ideally, whatever happens, we stay above recent broken resistance, just shy of $18. Moving along to Femasys, which I don't think we've ever looked at before. And here we've had the gap down, followed by the recovery. It's also a break back above the 50-day moving average there at 54 cents. Above that, looking for up to 93 cents by the end of this month, which is basically August resistance. So hopefully that can pan out. One of the bigger revivals of the recent past has been Lithium Americas, and here you can see that we've managed to hit that resistance line target there around $12.50. In fact, that is the Canadian version. We'll go look at the American version, let's say, and here we are. So breaking that, the equivalent line there around $707.70. Above that, looking for the upper parallel of that line, which is heading up to $12. And looking for that by the end of this month. A great performance there in terms of the gap up and then following through and breaking the gap high, or the high of the range after the gap, which was around $7.50. On to a stock which I think I have covered once, and it's back again, Neuphoria. You can see that we managed to exceed the target area around $15. Above that, the upper parallel of that rising trend channel base, size $24, and that's also a target we're looking for by the end of next month, while we remain on the right side of $15. One of the favorites around here is actually Plug Power, and here you can see why. We've had a breakthrough, a mid-move consolidation, top of the channel there, heading for the $4.50 area, which we're looking for by the end of this month, while we remain above a recent broken resistance around $3.30, so above $3.30. $4.50 or even more could be on the cards with Plug Power. A requested stock is Supermicro Computer, and here you can see that the shares have been consolidating well, largely on the basis of the rebounds off the 200-day line that we had last month, and the push through the 50-day moving average and back above the August gap there around the $48 level. Initial target here, the top of the gap there, up to $56, and hoping that that could be done later this month. The key here really is now trying to establish as much support on the right side of 50 as possible. Finishing off with Shopify, and here you can see that we can once again get the American version of the company rather than the Canadian one. You can see that we've got this rising trend channel that's been in place since March. Top of the channel there, heading for the $190 area. Looking for that by the end of next month, while we remain above recent broken resistance rather, and recent support around the $150 level. So above 150, looking for 190 by the end of November on Shopify. That's it for me today. More updates during the week.